Hello everyone, Phoenixville here, and welcome back to another episode of Let's Play, Let's Talk. Today, I'm sorry if I feel a little bit, I haven't been feeling well, but I want to talk about it. I want to get the video out for you guys on time, and this one is going to be about depression. Oh, it's accepted over here. All right, so let's talk about how you feel when, or your feelings when you're depressed. And I pretty much wrote down what applied to me. Gonna have to. Oh, it is accepted here, right? I'm not imagining this. There it is. Some of the things I felt when I was depressed: sad, empty, hopeless, worthless, and ashamed. I was sad all the time. I felt empty, where I felt like I served no purpose. Hopeless, like I was never gonna get any better. Worthless, and I've touched on that before. I just felt like there was no point to me being here, and ashamed, because I was ashamed that I was such a failure, as I was told pretty much my whole life. Some of the symptoms of depression is loss of interest, which hits me hard, because I lost interest in a lot of things I really loved. When I was struggling through it, lost the appetite / overeating. I actually both I went through. There were points where I could go a day or so without eating anything, and then there were days that I would literally eat until I made myself sick. So I went through both of those problems. Problems concentrating. That hits the nail right on the head, because when I was going through it, my grades, when I went from a straight A student till I almost failed the 8th grade. Like it was that bad. Every subject I was good at, I just could not concentrate. I'd sit there and draw in my books all the time, and I would never hear what the teacher was saying, because I couldn't concentrate on it. It just was it was just not where I wanted to be, I guess. And the last is suicide. Contemplating or attempting suicide. And there was only really one point I got really bad with that. And it took a really good friend to slap me and bring me out of it. And I recently just recently got back in touch with her. And the first thing I said to her was, "Thank you. You don't know what you did that night. You probably had no clue." I said, "But you saved me that night." And she, of course, being the person she is, she's like, "Oh, that's what friends are for." But yeah, so those are some symptoms. Causes here. This is what could bring on depression. Neglect, which I felt like I really was, and it wasn't. Looking now, it wasn't my dad, but I felt that way because I never had the typical dad moments, because he was always working, and he was always working because he was working hard to try to provide a living for his family. But when you're young, you don't understand that. You just know that dad's not there, and it sucks. But the main part was my mom, and the big one here is not being treated fairly by parents. For some reason, and even to this day, my dad says he doesn't understand it. why my mother disliked me as much as she did. I don't know why. My brothers were absolute failures in life, and she always thought they were God's gift to mankind, but they were absolute failures, and here I am. I'm still to this day succeeding and proving her wrong, but yet my mother still dislikes me. So that's probably the biggest trigger, because and as you get older, you get over stupid stuff like that. You realize that her attention doesn't mean anything, because she's and I think personally her main problem was she didn't want any of her kids to succeed what she has done in her life, and she saw I was on the fast track to doing that, and she got jealous of her own kid, which you should never do. You should definitely want your kids, and for me, I want my kids to succeed past what I've done in my life. It's something you wish for your kids. You don't wish for your kids to not do good. Me, I want my kids to go above and beyond what I accomplished in my life. And mental abuse is the last one of the causes, and that fits right in with what I was saying about my mother. My mother, on a daily basis, never failed to tell me how stupid I was and how I'd never succeed and how I was going to be a failure for all my life. So that's where that came from. It sucks going through it. It really does. You just become a shell, pretty much. There's you don't feel how you used to. You don't get excited over things. You spend most of your time alone thinking about how, like me. Oh God. I sat there most of the time thinking about how big of a failure I was and how I'll never accomplish anything that I set my mind to, because that's what I was raised to believe. That's what I was told as a kid, and it messes with you. People say, oh, mental abuse isn't as bad as physical abuse. It really is, because instead of someone beating you up, you get beat up. You beat yourself up. Square bales. B. There we go. You beat yourself up, which is worse than getting beat up, because you're doing it yourself. I know that made little sense to people, but it makes complete sense in my mind. A lot of people ask how to get through it. For everybody, it's different. You got to find something that does it not have. Can I not? This does not have the automatic where I have to actually drive by and hit B each time. That's fine, I'll just have to do it. But for everybody, it's different. You got to find something that gets you personally through it. Me, it was music. Music is... I've always loved music, and that's one thing that never took away from me, was my love of music. This lag. This is probably gonna be the last week we're on here. We're gonna be moving probably over to the Outcast farms once Mr. Tough gets that done. But we're gonna have to get another truck. Music and discovering new music and all that. And people's like, you're emo because of some stuff I listen to, but I don't care. I love the music so much. I really do not care what people think of me. for listening to it. You know, I listened to, like, I was listening to what? I'm trying to think. It was before I got really into the heavy stuff. Like, I used to listen to bands like Bleeding Through. That's about as heavy as you can get. What was the band's name? Taking Back Sunday was a big one I used to listen to all the time. Green Day, Papa Roach, and all that. Atreyu was another big one that I got into towards the end of it. As I Lay Dying, which the band is totally screwed up now because of the lead singer. And so on and so forth. I mean, there's a lot of them, but, you know, discovering new music, like, I think that's about the time I discovered, like, Him and stuff. Him, I don't care what people call me for listening to it. Him is one of my favorite bands of all time. Just their music is hard rock, but it's peaceful and it's great stuff. If you haven't listened to them, check them out. Be an emo kid too. Join the emo crowd today. That's what got me through, and not even just listening. Like, I was writing music at that time, and you know, learning. I was learning how to play guitar at the time, and all that good stuff. So I mean, it wasn't just listening. It was learning too. But yeah, that's what got me through. And you know, just know that you will get out of it. It's not something that lasts forever. It may seem like it lasts forever, but it doesn't. You'll get over it. You'll move on from it. It's not going to be the end of you, and it's not going to be the end of the world. Trust me on that one. Trust me on that one. When you're going through it, it sucks completely. What's the unload side? Yes, that worked out pretty good. It sucks completely, but, you know, at the end of the day, it'll make you a stronger person. It will make you a completely stronger person, having survived it. And when you start thinking about suicide, just realize you might end your problems, but you hurt those around you more than you were hurting yourself, if that makes sense to anyone. It sickened me. A few years back, the high school I went to, they had like 3 suicides within 3 months. Like, it was the cool thing to do. I don't get why. You know, they were sitting here and glorifying it, like, oh, rest in peace, and oh, you'll be missed and everything. I'm like, the guy just took his own life. Why as a society glorify that? I mean, in cases like Robin Williams and, you know, people that have a disease, something that's gonna take their lives, I didn't understand that. You know, he was struggling with depression again, and he just found out he had another disease, and that would ruin his life as he knows it. And, you know, that's understandable, but to do it for people to celebrate your life, that's kind of screwed up in the head. You're willing to put your family through that for a little bit of attention. That's not the way to go, you know. Plus, you'll never experience the awesome things in life that come later in life. Trust me on that one. Yeah, high school is technically the easiest part of your life, but you don't get the cool shit until you get out of high school. Truly, yeah, you have to get a job, and yeah, it sucks and all that. But guess what? You also get to do things like you never got to do before. Like, you don't have to have your parents' permission or have to go in there with your parents to see an R-rated movie. You can go into Dave & Buster's without having to have a chaperone. Okay? Cool things happen. Plus, once you have kids, you get to relive the cool stuff you used to do as a kid. Like, you know, I went to Chuck E. Cheese before when I was a kid. Now I got a kid, I can take her to Chuck E. Cheese. Yeah, that's how awesome that is. Go in there and sell the high scores on the skee ball. That's how cool that is. You know, you again, there's stuff that, you know, it sucks. I know. But there's so much cooler stuff once you get out of there. So, remember, like Silent Fan always says, you're an awesome person. Don't let anyone ever tell you otherwise. And he uses it. That's how he ends his video. But I'm not going to say so long or whatever he says. I'm having a hard time remembering right now. Boop. Oh, that sucks. So I hope that helps you guys. If you're struggling with depression and you're having a rough time with it, just talk to somebody. Like I told you guys, I talked to a friend when I got my lowest point, and did that work? Yeah, it did. Okay, so why is it still there? There we go. I got rid of it. But what was I saying? Yeah, and not only that, I had a friend going through it at the same time, so we got to I don't want to say bounce off of each other, or, you know, vent to each other. There you go. So I had that benefit. Not everybody does. But I hope that helps someone. If you're going through depression, you need someone to talk to, definitely find someone to talk to. It will do you a ton of good, and you'll be glad you did. And it helps to get this stuff off your chest, off your mind. Even as an adult, just when you're going through some trouble, talk to somebody. You know, just let them know that you're having a rough time. Let them know that you just need a pat on the back, I'm here for you, pal, sort of thing. And you'll find somebody that will listen to you. Always. If they're true friends, they will always listen to you. But that's going to do it for today, guys. Next topic, I have no clue, so be sure to leave a topic down below. Some of the topics I got asked were about racism. I'm not going to touch on that because I don't feel it exists enough to do a video on it. You know, I know it exists, but it's not a rampant, raging problem in our society like some people would like you to believe. It's just people use that as an excuse for everything. But yeah, that's gonna do it for today. If you have any suggestions, be sure to leave it in the comment section down below, and I'll definitely touch on it if it's something that's worth doing a video on. If it's not, I won't. I'm sorry. But some ideas I have in mind right now are like YouTube tips, like how to start YouTube, how to deal with YouTube, and all that good stuff. Being a parent, what's like during, after, and I mean like if you know, pregnancy. Not that I was, you know, never mind. That's why. That's why I was like, But anyway, that's just a couple ideas I have in mind. Again, if you guys have any ideas, feel free to let me know. I'll touch on it, or I'll try. Anyways, if you liked the video, be sure to leave a like down below. If you guys want to see more Farming Simulator 15 Let's Plays, Let's Talks, be sure to click subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching. Bye-bye.